The 1985 Toyota SR5 4RR4 extra cab from Back to the Future represents the ultimate teenage dream machine. Marty McFly spent the entire trilogy obsessing over this black beauty with its KC daylighter fog lamps and chrome roll bar, and the Twister Storm Chasers drove their red 1995 Dodge Ram 1500 straight through F5 tornadoes, while Joe's 1982 Jeep J-Tin Honcho took beatings that would destroy lesser trucks. But which movie truck survived a real lightning strike during filming? How did one pickup's engine explode with the cameras rolling? And why did stunt drivers refuse to drive one famous movie truck? These are 20 badass movie pickup trucks that made Hollywood history. Number 20. The Teenage Dream Machine. The 1985 Toyota SR5 4R4 extra cab from Back to the Future wasn't just product placement, it was character development. Every time Marty McFly saw that black beauty, audiences understood his aspirations. The truck appeared in all three films, always tantalizingly out of reach. Director Robert Zemeckis specifically chose the Toyota because it represented the perfect balance of attainable and aspirational for a teenager in 1985. The KC daylighter fog lamps weren't just for show, they actually used them during the mall parking lot chase scene. The chrome roll bar and side steps, added specifically because Michael J. Fox was shorter than originally planned, making it difficult for him to climb in naturally. Here's the kicker. Universal Studios kept the truck after filming and used it for studio tours until 1991 when a guest tried to steal it. The thief made it 3 blocks before crashing into a DeLorean dealership. You can't make this stuff up. The truck sold at auction in 2022 for $152,000, complete with the original California license plate 2BAK860. The buyer? A Silicon Valley tech executive who drives it to work every Friday, keeping Marty's dream alive. Number 19. The Storm Chasers Workhorse. That red 1995 Dodge Ram 1500 Club Cab 4x4 from Twister went through absolute hell. The production team bought 6 identical trucks knowing they'd destroy most of them. The hero truck, Verindia, the one used for close-ups, had its suspension reinforced with NASCAR-grade components because regular shocks kept exploding during chase scenes. The weight of the Dorothy Scientific Equipment props actually bent the truck's frame during the first week of shooting. Special effects supervisor Stefan Fangmeyer revealed they welded steel plates under the bed to prevent catastrophic failure. During the famous scene where the truck drives through a house, stunt driver Dean Mumford was supposed to hit the brakes after crashing through the front wall. The brake line snapped. Mumford rode that Ram straight through the entire house and out the back, narrowly missing a propane tank that would have turned the stunt into a real disaster. The truck's distinctive red paint, custom mixed with metallic flakes that would catch lightning flashes during storm sequences. One of the surviving Rams ended up at Universal Studios Hollywood, where it was repurposed for the studio tour. Guests could see actual tornado damage, dents, scratches, and a cracked windshield from a piece of flying debris that nearly decapitated a camera operator. The truck finally retired in 2018 when the frame stress cracks became too dangerous. Its odometer showed 147,000 miles, most of them chasing movie tornadoes. Number 18, Joe's Indestructible Honcho. The 1982 Jeep J10. Honcho from Twister deserves its own survival medal. Helen Hunt's character Joe drove this rust-covered beast through debris fields that would shred modern trucks. The production team found the Jeep in an Oklahoma junkyard, already beaten to hell. Perfect for a storm chaser who valued function over form. The Honcho's 360 V8 engine was rebuilt 3 times during production because dust and debris kept destroying the air filtration system. The custom roll cage wasn't just a prop, it saved stunt driver Lisa McCullough's life when a simulated tornado flipped the truck 7 times instead of the planned 2. McCullough walked away with minor bruises, the truck's faded blue paint and rust patches, all real. The art department wanted to add fake weathering, but director Jan de Bont insisted on authenticity. During the scene where the Jeep crashes through a cornfield, the engine caught fire. Instead of stopping, de Bont kept cameras rolling while the safety team stood ready. The flaming escape added intensity no CGI could match. After filming, the Honcho was supposed to be scrapped. A grip named Tommy Woodward bought it for $500 and spent 2 years restoring it. The truck now appears at storm chaser conventions where real meteorologists pay homage to Hollywood's most accurate portrayal of their dangerous profession. Woodward still daily drives it 238,000 miles and counting. Number 17, Brian's Lightning Strike. The 1999 Ford F-150 SVT Lightning from Too Fast, Too Furious proved muscle trucks could run with sports cars. Paul Walker's Brian O'Connor used this supercharged beast for his day job while planning his next street race. The Lightning's 5.4-liter supercharged V8 pushed 360 horsepower, serious numbers for 1999. During the bridge jump scene, the stunt truck hit the ramp at 87 mph instead of the calculated 70 mph. It flew 162 feet, completely overshooting the landing zone and crashing into equipment trucks. The driver walked away, but the Lightning's frame bent into a V shape. Ford provided 7 identical red Lightnings for production. By the end, only 2 survived intact. The engine modifications for filming included a larger supercharger pulley, custom exhaust, and reprogrammed ECU that pushed output near 450 horsepower. During Paul Walker's first test drive, he accidentally triggered the nitrous system installed for a later scene. The sudden acceleration threw him back so hard he thought the seat broke. Walker insisted on doing more of his own driving after that, saying the truck was more fun than most of the cars. The Hero truck sold at auction after Walker's death for $89,000, with proceeds going to his Reach Out worldwide charity. The buyer promised to never modify it, keeping Brian O'Connor's ride exactly as it appeared on screen. Number 16. The Pussy Wagon's shocking legacy. Kill Bill's 1997 Chevrolet C2500 Silverado Fleetside might be the most controversial vehicle in cinema history. That bright yellow extended cab with the unforgettable nameplate belonged to Buck before the bride commandeered it for her revenge tour. Quentin Tarantino bought the truck from a Texas used car lot where it had been sitting for months. Nobody wanted a banana yellow work truck. The infamous Pussy Wagon. Tailgate lettering was hand-painted by Tarantino himself after 3 sign shops refused the job. During filming, the truck's V8 4i4 big block engine overheated constantly in the desert heat. The cooling system required complete rebuilding twice. Uma Thurman learned to drive stick specifically for this role, practicing in the Pussy Wagon between takes. She stalled it 17 times during the hospital parking lot escape scene. Each restart risked vapor lock in the already struggling engine. The truck's yellow paint required 7 coats to achieve Tarantino's vision of aggressively bright. The paint job alone cost $8,000. After filming, Tarantino kept the truck in his personal collection. He occasionally drove it to Hollywood events until 2015 when someone threw a brick through the windshield while it was parked outside a restaurant. The truck now lives in a climate-controlled garage, appearing only at special exhibitions. Lady Gaga tried to buy it for $250,000 in 2020, but Tarantino refused. The Pussy Wagon remains one of cinema's most recognizable vehicles, for better or worse. Number 15. Stallone's Hot Rod F-100. The 1955 Ford F-100, custom from The Expendables, represented everything wrong with modern action films, in the best way possible. Stallone's Barney Ross drove this murdered-out hot rod between mercenary missions. The truck started life as a genuine barn find in Nebraska, purchased for $3,000. The Expendables transportation coordinator spent $180,000 turning it into a street fighter. The 502 cubic inch big block Chevy crate engine produced 502 horsepower, 1 per cubic inch. The custom exhaust was so loud it violated noise ordinances in 3 filming locations. During the chase scene, the truck's modern disc brakes locked up, sending it sideways into a fruit stand that wasn't supposed to be destroyed. Stallone stayed in character, improvising dialogue about payment while fruit splattered everywhere. The truck's flat black paint job used an experimental military coating that absorbed radar. This wasn't intentional, the paint shop mixed the wrong formula. The coating proved so effective that airport security couldn't scan the truck during international shipping. The custom suicide doors required reinforcement after Stallone ripped one off during an intense exit scene. His adrenaline surge bent the heavy-duty hinges like cardboard. The F-100 now resides in Stallone's personal garage alongside his other film vehicles. He still drives it monthly, claiming the truck keeps him young. The custom license plate reads XPND1, and yes, it's been pulled over countless times. Number 14. The Hazing Machine. O'Banion's 1972 Chevrolet C10. Stepside from Dazed and Confused became synonymous with senior year terrorism. Ben Affleck's paddle-wielding bully terrorized freshmen from this orange stepside, turning it into a mobile harassment platform. The truck came from director Richard Linklater's high school memories. His own tormentor drove an identical C10. The production found their truck at a Austin swap meet, already sporting the perfect faded orange paint and dented body panels. The truck's 350 small block V8 barely ran when purchased. The mechanical team performed a backyard rebuild using period-correct parts to maintain authenticity. No modern upgrades, no reliability improvements, just 1972 technology. This decision caused constant breakdowns during filming. The famous scene where O'Banion chases Mitch required 17 takes because the truck kept stalling. Affleck learned to pop start it while rolling, turning mechanical failure into character development. The truck bed's wooden paddle rack was Ben Affleck's idea. He built it himself during a rain delay using scrap lumber from the set. The crew loved it so much they wrote additional scenes featuring the modification. After filming, the C-10 disappeared for 2 decades before surfacing at a Dallas car show in 2014. The current owner bought it from a junkyard, unaware of its film history until he found a wooden paddle under the seat. The truck now tours Alamo Drafthouse theaters during special screenings, complete with replica paddles that fans can hold for photos. Number 13, the Wolverines War Wagon. The 1977 Chevrolet K10. Cheyenne from Red Dawn carried more emotional weight than any military vehicle in the film. C. Thomas Howell's Jed Swenson drove this blue stepside during peacetime before it became the Wolverines' supply truck. The production needed a truck that looked authentically Colorado, weathered but maintained. They found it at a Denver construction company, still used daily for hauling equipment. The owner initially refused to sell until learning it would be in a John Milius film. The truck's 350 V8 received minimal modification, just a tune-up and new tires. Milius wanted it to run exactly like a teenager's truck would, including the characteristic lifter tick and occasional backfire. During the ambush scene, a pyrotechnic charge placed too close to the fuel tank created a real explosion risk. The safety coordinator evacuated the set seconds before the truck's undercoating caught fire. Quick thinking with fire extinguishers saved the Chevy, though scorch marks remained visible in later scenes. The Wolverines spray paint scene used real Rust-Oleum, applied by C. Thomas Howell himself. The paint job was supposed to be neater, but Howell's emotional state during filming created the perfect, rushed, defiant look. The truck survived all its war scenes only to be nearly totaled during transport back to Los Angeles. A highway accident crushed the passenger side, requiring extensive reconstruction. The restored K-10 sold at auction in 2019 for $76,000 to a military vehicle collector who displays it alongside actual Cold War artifacts. Number 12, the monster that smashed expectations. Bigfoot 7 from Roadhouse revolutionized how Hollywood used monster trucks. The massive Ford-based crusher appeared in the infamous dealership destruction scene, turning new cars into scrap metal. Bob Chandler's Bigfoot team provided the truck and driver for the sequence. This wasn't CGI or miniatures, they really crushed a dealership's worth of cars. The scene required precise choreography because Bigfoot 7's 66-inch Terra tires and 2,000 horsepower made it nearly uncontrollable in confined spaces. During the first take, driver Andy Brass miscalculated a turn and drove straight through the dealership's office wall. The unplanned destruction looked so good they rewrote the scene to include it. Insurance companies had nightmares about this sequence. The crushed cars were dealer returns and insurance write-offs painted to look new. Still, the total destruction value exceeded $400,000. Bigfoot 7's appearance fee was $50,000 per day, making it one of the highest-paid actors in the film. The truck's custom suspension travel of 4 feet per wheel meant it could literally hop between cars. During one take, the monster truck landed so hard it cracked the concrete foundation. The dealership location required complete demolition after filming. Patrick Swayze insisted on being present during monster truck scenes despite safety concerns. He stood just 30 feet away during the crushing sequence, close enough to feel the ground shake. The footage became so iconic that Bigfoot 7's bookings tripled after Roadhouse's release. The truck retired from competition in 1991, but still appears at special events, introduced as the truck that fought Dalton. Number 11, the modern ranch workhorse. Jordan Peele's Nope featured a 2008 Ford F-350 Super Duty that proved modern trucks could be just as cinematic as classics. The Haywood family's white dually handled everything from horse transport to alien encounters. The truck was Daniel Kaluuya's personal request. He wanted something that real horse ranchers would actually use. The production bought 3 identical F-350s, each modified with custom horse trailer electrical systems and reinforced rear suspensions for realistic towing scenes. During the night chase sequences, the truck's 6.4-liter Power-Stroke diesel engine created unexpected problems. The turbocharger's whistle interfered with sound recording, requiring extensive ADR work. The exhaust smoke also showed up too prominently in night shots, forcing the camera team to adjust angles constantly. The truck's most impressive stunt involved the electromagnetic pulse scene. Special effects rigged the F-350 with pneumatic systems that could kill the engine and lights on cue while maintaining steering and brakes for safety. Stunt driver Jalil J performed the dead stick coast down the valley road in complete darkness, guided only by infrared cameras. The Hero Truck's odometer gained 8,000 miles during production, mostly from hauling actual horses. Daniel Kaluuya learned to back up horse trailers specifically for his role, practicing until he could reverse through obstacle courses. His newfound skill impressed real ranch hands hired as extras. After filming, one F-350 went to Universal Studios' vehicle collection, while Kaluuya bought another for his personal use. He still posts Instagram photos with it, calling it his UFO survivor. Number 10. The Desert Nightmare Hauler. The 1979 Chevrolet C20 from The Hitcher transformed from utilitarian transport to rolling death trap. This brown and tan two-tone haunted every scene, carrying unspeakable cargo across the Southwest. Director Robert Harmon found the truck at a Barstow salvage yard. Its sun-faded paint and rust-streaked body perfectly embodied desert decay. The original 350 engine barely ran, burning oil so badly the crew called it the smoke machine. Instead of fixing it, Harmon incorporated the smoking exhaust into the film's atmosphere. During C. Thomas Howell's discovery scene, the truck bed's gruesome contents were hidden from him until cameras rolled. His genuine shock required no acting. The truck's failing brakes added unintended tension to chase scenes. Stunt coordinator Gary Davis later admitted they were one failed master cylinder away from disaster. The famous gas station explosion used the actual C20 Hero truck, not a double. Harmon wanted authenticity and was willing to risk their only complete vehicle. The pyrotechnics team underestimated the gasoline vapors in the truck's tank. The explosion blew out windows 3 blocks away and launched the truck's hood into a telephone pole. Miraculously, the frame survived intact. After repairs, the truck worked another 2 weeks of filming. The C20's current whereabouts remain unknown. It was sold at a Phoenix auto auction in 1987 and vanished into private hands. Horror fans still search junkyards hoping to find this piece of nightmare history. Urban legends claim it's hidden in a Nevada barn, still containing props from the film. Number 9. The Rust Belt Survivor. Gran Torino's 1972 Ford F-100 embodied working-class Detroit pride. Clint Eastwood's Walt Kowalski maintained his neighbor's aging truck with the same dedication he showed his prized Gran Torino. The F-100 belonged to a real Detroit resident who answered the production's call for period vehicles. His grandfather bought it new in 1972, and 3 generations had maintained it. The truck's factory green paint showed 40 years of Michigan winters, but no rust-through, a testament to religious undercoating. Eastwood personally selected this truck from dozens of options. He connected with its honest wear and authentic details like the handmade wooden stake sides and period-correct white spoke wheels. During filming, the owner stood by as technical advisor, ensuring every detail remained accurate to Detroit truck culture. The truck's 390 FE big block ran perfectly despite 340,000 original miles. The owner revealed his secret, religious maintenance, and never letting it sit. This reliability allowed filming to proceed without backup vehicles. Eastwood often sat in the truck between takes talking with the owner about Detroit's golden age. These conversations influenced several unscripted scenes. After filming, Eastwood tried to buy the F-100, offering twice its market value. The owner politely declined, explaining it would never leave the family. The truck still cruises Detroit streets, now with a small plaque documenting its Hollywood appearance. Local car shows feature it as Walt's neighbor's truck, a supporting player in Eastwood's farewell to tough guy roles. Number 8. The Bridges Builder. The 1963 GMC 1500 from the bridges of Madison County represented more than transportation. It was Robert Kincaid's home on wheels. Clint Eastwood's photographer character lived from this green workhorse, carrying a lifetime of equipment and memories. Finding the right truck took 3 months. Eastwood rejected dozens of restored examples, wanting something that looked truly lived in. They discovered their GMC at an Iowa farm estate sale, complete with 40 years of honest farm use. The truck's inline-6 engine needed minimal work, hit just new points and plugs. Eastwood insisted on driving it himself for all non-stunt scenes. He spent hours practicing with the column shift 3-speed, wanting Robert's driving to look unconsciously expert. The truck bed's custom photography equipment storage was built by actual National Geographic photographers consulted for authenticity. Every drawer and compartment served real purposes. Eastwood often reorganized the equipment between takes, creating the lived-in randomness no set decorator could fake. During the covered bridge scenes, the truck's width barely cleared the historic structures. Insurance companies demanded professional drivers, but Eastwood negotiated to drive himself at 5 mile quadrants with spotters. The tension visible in Meryl Streep's face during these scenes was genuine. She knew one mistake meant destroying irreplaceable history. The GMC's fate sparked controversy. After filming, it was scheduled for studio storage. Eastwood purchased it personally, then donated it to the Madison County Historical Society. It's now permanently displayed at the Roseman-covered bridge, maintained exactly as it appeared on screen. Visitors can peer through the windows at Robert Kincaid's Mobile Life, frozen in 1965. Number 7. Clyde's Co-Pilot Cruiser. The 1977 GMC K1500 Sierra Classic from every which way. But Loose proved trucks could handle comedy as well as drama. Clint Eastwood's Philo Beto traveled the bare-knuckle fighting circuit in this brown and tan two-tone with an orangutan named Clyde as his permanent passenger. The production needed a truck that could handle Clyde's 180-pound weight, repeatedly jumping in and out. GMC provided 3 identically equipped K1500s with reinforced door hinges and monkey-proof interiors. Clyde destroyed the first interior within 2 days, ripping out the headliner and eating foam from the seats. The animal trainers developed special covers made from zoo-grade materials. These worked until Clyde learned to use tools, removing screws with a pilfered wrench. Eastwood often drove with Clyde loose in the cab, creating genuine reactions. During one scene, Clyde grabbed the wheel while moving, forcing Eastwood to wrestle for control while staying in character. The footage was too good to cut despite insurance company protests. The truck's 400 small block required special tuning to run on the low-octane gas available at remote filming locations. The engine's distinctive knock became part of Philo's working-class character. Sound editors enhanced it in post-production for consistency. After filming, one truck went to the studio museum while another toured shopping malls promoting the film. The third, Clyde's favorite, was retired to a sanctuary where the orangutan lived. Trainers reported Clyde would sit in the cab for hours, apparently reliving his movie star days. The truck outlived its co-star, remaining at the sanctuary as a memorial. Number 6, Rambo's Final Battle Wagon. The 2005 Dodge Ram 3500 from Rambo, Last Blood transformed from ranch truck to war machine. Sylvester Stallone's John Rambo used this black dually to defend his Arizona property against cartel invaders. Stallone personally selected the Ram from a dozen options, choosing the most beaten and weathered truck. He wanted something that looked like Rambo had owned it since returning from Afghanistan, functional but neglected. The truck's Cummins diesel engine received minimal modification, just a programmer for more aggressive throttle response. During the tunnel chase sequence, the truck performed beyond expectations. Stunt coordinator Alexander Witt planned elaborate rigs for the underground scenes. The Ram's factory four-wheel drive system handled the slippery tunnel floors without assistance, allowing more dynamic filming. The truck's custom steel bumper was built by actual Army welders stationed at Fort Huachuca. Stallone wanted military-grade protection that looked field-fabricated. The welders added personal touches like shrapnel-resistant plating that would never appear on civilian vehicles. During the explosive finale, 3 identical Rams were rigged for destruction. The hero truck survived when pyrotechnics accidentally focused on the wrong vehicle. Quick thinking by the camera crew captured the unplanned angles, creating more realistic destruction than originally storyboarded. After production, Stallone kept the surviving hero truck at his Arizona property. He occasionally posts videos of him using it for actual ranch work, claiming it helps him stay connected to Rambo's character. The truck's battle scars remain unrepaired, each dent telling Last Blood's story. Number 5. The Small Town Terror Truck. Village of the Damned's 1979 Ford F-250 carried more menace than any horror movie monster. This brown supercab became the vehicle of choice for Midwich's possessed citizens. John Carpenter selected the F-250 for its ubiquitous small-town presence. He wanted a truck that could blend in anywhere while hiding sinister purpose. The production found their perfect specimen in Inverness, California, a ranch truck with 400,000 miles of honest use. The truck's 460 big block barely idled, running so rough the camera car couldn't film alongside. Instead of repairing it, Carpenter incorporated the death rattle into the soundtrack. The ominous rumble became audio foreshadowing for violence. Christopher Reeve performed his own driving stunts with the F-250 despite its failing power steering. During the school pursuit scene, the steering completely locked. Reeve muscled the truck through the sequence using pure strength, never breaking character. The footage showed such intensity they extended the scene. The truck's most memorable moment involved the mass suicide scene. 20 identical F-250s were supposed to converge simultaneously. Budget constraints meant using the same truck filmed from multiple angles with careful editing, creating the illusion of a fleet. The continuity team's nightmares paid off. Audiences never noticed. After filming, the F-250 was purchased by a Carpenter fan who restored it mechanically while preserving its sinister appearance. It appears at horror conventions where fans recreate scenes. The current owner claims the truck still carries an unsettling presence, with electronics mysteriously failing during night drives. And before our final fact, hit subscribe for more incredible movie vehicle histories, and let us know in comments which truck shocked you most. Number 4. The Firestarter's Faithful Ford. The 1973 Chevrolet K10, stepside from Firestarter, proved even Stephen King adaptations needed solid trucks. This yellow and white two-tone carried Drew Barrymore's pyrokinetic Charlie through government pursuit. Director Mark L. Lester found the truck at a Portland Fire Department auction. Ironically perfect for a film about fire. The truck had survived 40 years of emergency response. Its paint bubbled and metal heat warped from countless proximity to flames. The art department wanted to repaint it, but Lester kept the authentic fire damage. During effects testing, the truck's weathered paint proved incredibly fire resistant. Scenes requiring flame effects could use the actual vehicle instead of doubles. The vintage coating had baked so many times it became nearly fireproof. The truck's 350 engine ran perfectly despite decades of hard use. During chase scenes, it outperformed newer camera vehicles. Stunt driver Janet Brady praised its predictability, saying modern trucks felt disconnected compared to the mechanical directness of the K10. Drew Barrymore formed an attachment to the truck during filming. Between takes, she would sit in the cab reading books. Her mother, Jade, reported Drew called it her safe place among the film's intense themes. The young actress cried when filming wrapped, and she had to say goodbye. The truck's current owner bought it from the studio auction specifically because his daughter loved the movie. He maintains it exactly as filmed, including prop government agency decals. The K10 appears at charity events where Drew Barrymore fans donate to children's literacy programs. The truck that protected Charlie now helps real kids discover reading. Number 3. The Blue Collar Battle Truck. Take This Job and Shove It featured a 1974 Ford F-250 that embodied working-class rebellion. This brown workhorse carried brewery workers through their fight against corporate oppression. The truck belonged to an actual brewery employee in Dubuque, Iowa. When production needed authentic vehicles, he volunteered his daily driver. The F-250's 390 engine had hauled beer kegs for 15 years, developing the exact wear patterns Hollywood couldn't fake. Robert Hayes learned to drive the truck from its owner, who insisted on teaching proper beer delivery techniques. This authenticity influenced several scenes where Hayes handled kegs with surprising expertise. The owner worked as an uncredited technical advisor throughout filming. During the climactic brewery fight, the truck was supposed to crash through loading dock doors. The stunt went wrong when the door's reinforced steel frame didn't break as planned. The F-250 hit at 30 mph, crumpling the front end. The owner watched his beloved truck destroy itself for cinema. Production insurance covered a complete restoration, but the owner insisted on doing the work himself. He spent 6 months rebuilding the F-250, improving it beyond original condition. The studio offered to reimburse his labor, but he refused payment, considering it an honor to contribute to a film about worker dignity. The restored truck still hauls beer in Dubuque, now with a small plaque commemorating its film appearance. Local brewery workers treat it as a monument to their profession. The owner's son continues the tradition, driving the same routes his father established in the truck that fought for working-class respect. Number 2. The Breaking Bad Legend. The 1978 Chevrolet El Camino from Breaking Bad and its feature film proved a car-truck hybrid could carry an entire narrative. Jesse Pinkman's red El Camino, with its 350 small block and TH350 transmission, became as iconic as the blue meth itself. The production team searched for 3 months to find the perfect El Camino. They needed specific factory options: red paint, black interior, and the optional 350 V8. Most survivors had been modified or restored. They finally found their hero car in Albuquerque, owned by a sheet metal worker who'd bought it new. During Breaking Bad's run, the El Camino survived impossible abuse. The train heist episode alone put 400 hard miles on the odometer. The suspension completely failed during Season 5, requiring emergency rebuilds between shooting days. Aaron Paul learned to do his own maintenance, changing oil and checking fluids to stay in character. When it came time for the El Camino movie, the vehicle needed complete mechanical restoration. The production spent $40,000 returning it to reliable condition. During the film's climactic escape, the engine developed a rod knock. They finished the scene with the engine literally destroying itself. The sound made it into the final cut, adding unplanned authenticity to Jesse's desperate flight. After filming completed, Sony Pictures auctioned the screen-used El Camino for charity. It sold for $205,000 to a Breaking Bad superfan who displays it in a climate-controlled garage. He occasionally starts it, claiming he can still smell the desert dust from Jesse's final escape. Number 1. Footloose's four-wheeled Fury. The 1987 GMC Sierra Classic from Footloose didn't just transport Chuck Cranston, it embodied small-town tyranny on 35-inch tires. This lifted stepside became the ultimate bully's weapon, terrorizing Ren McCormick and representing everything wrong with Beaumont's oppressive culture. Finding this specific truck proved nearly impossible. Director Herbert Ross needed something that looked factory-built but intimidating. In 1983, lifted trucks were custom jobs, not dealer options. The transportation department finally located a Sierra Classic in Utah that had been professionally lifted for desert racing. The owner, a Mormon bishop, initially refused to let his truck appear in a film criticizing religious authority. After reading the script, he realized the truck would represent the villains. He agreed, seeing it as supporting the film's message about extremism. The truck's 350 V8 had been built for Baja racing, producing over 400 horsepower. During Kevin Bacon's tractor, during a chicken scene, the Sierra's power created unexpected problems. The truck accelerated so quickly it nearly hit the camera car. They had to detune the engine for safety, removing the high-performance camshaft between scenes. The famous bridge scene, where Chuck challenged Ren, required 15 takes. The truck's massive tires kept grabbing the wooden planks, threatening to flip. Stunt coordinator Buddy Joe Hooker finally let air out of the tires for better control. The softer tires made the truck bounce dangerously, adding visual menace that enhanced the scene's tension. During the drive-in confrontation, the Sierra's height advantage was maximized by digging trenches for other vehicles. The truck towered even more than its lifted suspension allowed. This forced perspective made Chuck's intimidation feel physically overwhelming. The effect was so successful they used it throughout the film. But here's the detail nobody knows. The truck suffered a complete electrical failure during the final dance scene. It was supposed to drive through the background as reconciliation symbolism. Instead, it sat dead in the parking lot. Ross decided this was better storytelling. The bully's truck, like the oppression it represented, was finally powerless. The GMC Sierra Classic survived filming but disappeared shortly after. The Utah owner sold it to a dealer who claimed a Hollywood collector bought it. Various replicas have surfaced at car shows, but the real lifted Sierra remains missing. Some say it's hidden in a barn in Nevada. Others claim it was crushed in a salvage yard. But Footloose fans keep searching, hoping to find the four-wheeled villain that made Ren's rebellion necessary. The truck that carried so much small-town hate might still be out there, waiting for its redemption. Until then, it remains Hollywood's most infamous missing pickup, a 35-inch tall reminder that sometimes the best villains have 8 cylinders and 4-wheel drive.